Yes, folks, thank you for tuning in. It is that time, that RRT Boxing Show time. It is I, Mr. A. Thank you for tuning back in. New viewers, become new subscribers. Hit that thumbs up. The loyal subscribers supporting your show, hit that thumbs up, support your show. Season 3, Episode 3, we talking welterweights. Welterweights, the first quarter of 2019. It's looking pretty. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. Some of the, on paper, like I said, we got all 4 champions fighting. Now, we're not quite sure who Terrence Crawford is fighting. Yes, the word is circling that it's going to be Khan, but we're still not quite 100% sure. But we are pretty much penciled in that Terrence Crawford is fighting in April. We just don't know who. So if that is his fight month, then that makes the WBO Crawford in April, the WBC Porter in March, Spence the IBF in March, and then you have Thurman in this month of January. So right there, all 4 champions will be fighting the first quarter of the year, which is good. It's good to know that all 4 champions will be on the same time frame. No excuses. Nothing to be said unless there's injuries in these fights to delay those, But we'll get more into those fights as it's coming. So let's just, like I said, those are the 4 championship fights. Then there's 3 ranked fights, Even though you could say it is a 5th championship, but, because right here on the RRT Boxing Show, we do like the belts. So those on the rewatch, the replay, hit a thumbs up if you like the belts, man, because that's what we talk about right here on the RRT Boxing Show, the rankings and the belts. And like I said, 4 championship fights. If you want to rank the regular WBA welterweight, that is being defended by Manny Pacquiao, of course, against Adrian Broner. So I say it's a ranked fight. It's a high-ranked fight. So you have that in January. And then you have the number 3 WBA and number 11 by the WBC, Jamal James. He's still semi-rebuilding himself against. He's on a 4-fight winning streak, but ever since your Dennis Ugas defeated him, I believe that was like on a 11-day, 14-day notice. He's still got that number WBA number 3 spot, but his momentum definitely stopped and it didn't quite pick up. He has a good fan base though. I forgot where he fight. I don't know if he fights in the Washington area or the Rhode Island area. But that dude has a good, that Fook a sellout little like about 8,000 people, man, 10,000 people. He's kind of like he does what Jose Ramirez does. So that's your second ring. And then, in April 20th, which possibly they're saying might be that Terrence Crawford date, you got the WBC number 1, Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados. Interesting and funky fight at the same time. Like I said, we will discuss all the fights. Those are just the championships and the high-ranked fights. There is more welterweight action taking place in the first quarter of 2019, and that's what we're discussing right here on the RRT Boxing Show. Hit those thumbs up. So first off, in January, believe it or not, the first welterweight to kick off the action is their second fight of his comeback, Chris Algieri. I like Chris Algieri. I'm always going to be, like I said, if it's funny that we discuss Chris Algieri, because as I have boxing just looping on in the background, I glance up at the screen and it's no other than Chris Algieri taking on Errol Spence Jr. So that what a coincidence. Good old Chris. He kicks off the welterweight action on January 18th. It's going to be on the undercard of Demetrius Andrade taking on Daniel Gonzalez. That's a nice New York squabble. Chris Algieri should, if he's back to sticking and moving like Chris Algieri, the one that got him to where he is, not the brawler that he became at 147, but if he's sticking and moving, he should beat that Daniel. Daniel's a little wide with his hooks. But then the following day, January 19th, you got Manny Pacquiao, Adrian Broner. That very interesting. And then the 26th, you got Thurman Lopez. So between the 5 champions, let's go through the 5 champions again. We're going to put Manny Pacquiao in this conversation. No, we discussed it. We discussed this at the end about those 5 champions, but let's do a rundown. We'll finish the rundown. So Algieri kicks it off on the 18th. Daniel Gonzalez should be a good one. Manny Pacquiao, Broner, Thurman Lopez. We discuss later. January 16th, PBC is throwing out a funky first quarter, folks. They ever since they did that whole little Lennox Lewis and pictures with Fox and everything. Some of those matchups are just some nice, quick introduction card fillers, like this one: Omar Figueroa Jr. and John Molina. It's interesting, it's kind of sad in a way because it's interesting because everyone is expecting John Molina to get fucked up. Omar Figueroa throws a lot of fucking punches. That's all everyone says. John's too slow to do that. But then you go, well, the Gladiator. You never know with the Gladiator. You're going to be in the Gladiator's going to get him. So it's just, is John going to wing one up on Omar, or is Omar just going to punch his ass with volume? I guess that's why it's interesting. But that's February 2nd, 2 days after you finish making love to your loved one on Valentine's. You can finally recuperate to some boxing, And then on the 23rd, Jamal James, still a TBA. Like I said, Jamal James needs to really, really assert himself, man, because the 147 is dangerous. We all know that. And for him to be at the top at the WBA, he dropped down to number 11 in the WBC. Look at your Dennis Ugas. He came and took him opportunity after opportunity. He was active. He's getting a title shot at number 6 in the WBC against Sean Porter. So, like I said, Jamal James, a to-be-announced opponent, finishing off February. And then March is going to be, from March on, the mid-March, it's March itself, but from mid-March, it just gets crazy for welterweights. The March, of course, you got IBF champ Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. No, I'm sorry. March 9th, you got Sean Porter versus Yordenis Ugas. The 16th, you got Spence Jr. versus Garcia. That is just crazy action right there. And then a little tie-in after that to get you calmed down and tie you over. You got Lamont Peterson and Sergey Lipinets. But that is it really hot? I think it's some hot action just because of what's happening. But look deep into it. Is that hot action for the welterweights? And then you have April 20th. That's the rumor for Terrence Crawford date. You know, he's trying to fight Terrence. We're just gonna say he's fighting Amir Khan. You know, he's fighting Amir Khan. If Amir Khan would be a weird one not to accept this, you know, I would easily accept this Crawford fight over Brook. You know, I fight Brook when I'm old. If you want the big fights, like Khan says, he wants the big fights. There ain't no bigger fight right now. You know, you chased Manny Pacquiao and you chased Floyd. Well, you're like the last one of their generation. This is your generation. You get to fight the Floyd of like your class. You know, how about that? Take that opportunity. It fell in your lap. You better go get that one. You want the greatest. You got a chance to fight your age greatest. I said chance. You know, Crawford's not quite proven, but hey, he's shown a lot. Now, that being said, we just ran down the list of fights. January 18th, Algeri Gonzalez. 19th, Pacquiao Broner. January 26th, Thurman Lopez. February 16th, Figueroa Molina. 23rd, Jamal James versus TBA. March 9th, WBC champion Porter Ugas. The 24th, Peterson Lipinets. March 16th, IBF champion Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia. April 20th, Terrence Crawford Khan and Garcia Granados. 4 championship fights, 3 high-ranked fights. Peterson and Lipinets. Omar Figueroa Molina, entertaining, trying to make a name, put themselves in some rankings. So it's a good 10 fights. But as the, you know, you figure the ranked fighters, they're going to do what they got to do. Peterson and Lipinets, they got to do what they got to do. Figueroa Molina, they got to do what they got. Algeri Gonzalez, cool. Now, let's talk the champions. Ones that's definitely penciled in coming up, we got Pacquiao, Broner, Thurman, Lopez. Now, Lopez is ranked number 7. So Thurman is doing a comeback fight against a mid-tier fighter. We know Lopez is a good pressure fighter. He shouldn't be too much. Shouldn't be too hard for Thurman to find. You know, that I believe that's when they say I gotta test my injury. That's what you wanted. You wanted to be definitely test on punches, but the best way to test on punches is to have a fighter in front of you. You know, Josecito Lopez ain't gonna be all fucking juking and jiving in the ring. You know, he's just probably gonna be the Riverside Rocky. You know, so he's probably just gonna be coming straight forward. You know, trying to catch some on the gloves, counter Thurman, jab. See, so, and then you got Pacquiao Broner. Which do you say is the tougher fight? Do you say Broner is a tougher opponent than Lopez? Pacquiao, Thurman. Who's handling it dangerous there? And then you got the IBF champion, Errol Spence, taking on Mikey Garcia. A 2-weight lower Mikey Garcia. Now let's yes, Mikey is a badass. You know, but last time we saw this, Rigo was somehow saying his hand was hurting and he quit against Lomachenko. Remember how that was a 2 gold medal Olympian, 2 badasses? You know, Rigo was going to somehow figure out the Matrix, find the fucking the White Rabbit and figure that shit out. Rigo was a bad motherfucker. Everyone, And Rigo's coming up soon. He's fighting on some undercard. I forgot which one. He's fighting real soon. But he's not a welterweight, so back to it. Garcia Spence. Is that really a nice repetition? I can't even pronounce that shit. So is that a really nice way for your IBF champion to start the year off? The welterweight, you're fighting a 2-division lower. WBC, Porter and Ugas. Terrence Crawford, Khan. Now, how do you view that fight? Because looking at those fights, obviously Thurman Lopez, Pacquiao Broner are not the tougher fights. I'm willing to say, how do you rate Ugas and Khan? Now, Khan looked very suspect. Is Khan a mere Khan? That Phil Greco, he looked heavy and loose. Obviously that's his first fight back. Vargas, how serious was Amir Khan? He got put down. He got touched a lot. How is Khan strictly in this for the money, or is Khan still got one last championship run in him? Because that's a big question for that fight. Khan versus Crawford. Ugas versus Porter. Garcia Spence. Ugas Garcia. Now, obviously, Garcia, we will probably say, is a better fighter than Ugas. But Ugas versus Porter, a same weight class, would you consider that a better matchup than Ugas Porter than Garcia Spence? Now, if Garcia was a natural 147, then that'd be a really hellified fight, Garcia and Spence. But being what it is, I'm leaning more that Ugas versus Porter is going to be a better matchup than Garcia and Spence. The names are hot, but Ugas and Porter, I think, is going to be a really good matchup. And depending, like I said, so far, what champion out of all the welterweights? Like I said, it's a lot. It's a good start, but is it really meaty? Or is it just like slices of bologna out there? Pacquiao Broner for the regular WBA, that's a nice defense. That's a nice welterweight showcase. That's good. That's a good fight. Now Jerry, come back, good name. Like I said, then you got the Thurman Lopez. You gotta give Thurman the pass here off the injury. You gotta give it, forget all the what side you're on, who you are, the duck and whatever. Injuries legit. He's coming back, fighting number 7. Lopez, he himself have been gone. So at one point, Lopez was looked upon as a nice dangerous mid-tier prospect. Lopez was almost in a Ugas position at one point. That type of tier fighter. You never know, he could upset you at any given night. But obviously he's not that Lopez anymore, or has this resurrection in the Oxford Academy, the Robert Garcia camp. He's been down there training. So maybe maybe this fight might be just something no one's expecting. But I still don't think Thurman Lopez is a better matchup than Ugas or Porter. Thurman Lopez better than Garcia Spencer. I said that's a good fucking name. And it has the possibility to be a really good fight. The matching, the Garcia could box his ass off. Spence is a nice come forward fighter who depends heavily on left hooks. His jab ain't the greatest. You could counter over it. Mikey's a good timer. But it's the power, the natural size. It's going to be interesting. Do you rate that being a better matchup with all the ifs and the buts and the mystique? I could say that's a better matchup than Lopez Thurman. But I don't know. I don't know. It's the name. I can't get hypnotized by the name. Even if you want to say, okay, no, come on, Mikey Garcia is a 140. He fought at 140. He's a 135 champ. So he's going up 2 divisions. That's where he's getting paid at, and that's what we're gonna call him. A 135 fighter going up 2 divisions. Do we really say that's a better matchup than Thurman coming back off an injury against a game Lopez? But Lopez been out of the business, so I guess we can say yes. Coming in at number 5 is probably Thurman off an injury versus a comeback Lopez. Because I do think Pacquiao and Broner has the potential to be very interesting. Some entertainment. I'm willing to. I want to see if Pacquiao just lets his hands go, because even I don't think the best Broner could beat Pacquiao. Of course, if he times him, whatever, but I don't see that hands up walking down. I don't think Broner, the way he turns it on and off in his past fights, the second half against Vargas, moments in Garcia towards the end, I don't think he can fight. Even though that's so, as of late, that's been the best Broner, just doing shit like that. He might have moments against that of Pacquiao, but the opponents he was doing that to against Vargas and Garcia had a nice foot movement, but I don't think he could walk down with his hands up like that against Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao, I think even at this age and this point in his career, he's going to have a footwork to tat, 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 rat-a-tat, tat, tat, and be gone, So I don't think that hands up, the best version that we've seen of Broner lately, could beat this version of Pacquiao. Now, unless Broner starts letting his hands go from mid-range on in, that might be a problem for Pacquiao. But can Broner keep that up for 12 rounds? Letting his hands go mid-range on in, not just walking himself in, trying to stiff jab and stuff, double high guard, stiff jab and shit, walk downs. I don't think that's going to work. But it's still, saying all that, it's still a better, interesting fight than Lopez and Thurman. So number 5 being ranked is Thurman Lopez. Number 4, Manny Pacquiao Broner. The number 3, we're on the fence here, folks. This is a RRT Boxing Show. This is your host, Mr. A. On the replay, on the recap, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Which, out of these 5 championship fights, which one who has the tougher competition? Who is representing the belt the best? I said the 5th, coming in 5th, is Thurman Lopez. It's a comeback fight, but whatever. Broner, Pacquiao. I'm rating Pacquiao's belt. He's fighting Broner. I give Broner is better than Lopez because he's at least been active. And then who is the tougher? Who is number 3? Is Garcia Spence the matchup? Is that the number one matchup of the welterweights? Is it Ugas Porter? Is it Khan Terrence? We're just penciling that in, saying that that's the fight. I myself, like I said, I could be on the outside looking in on this one, but I think Ugas and Porter is going to be a really good matchup. Porter is slowly showing he's working with a jab himself in with his roughhouse bulldozer style. What got him more to where he is. Ugas have been slowly putting it on, showing that he's a boxer. He could get it done. Will he have the timing? Because I do believe he has the boxing ability and the IQ to land the punches that's going to score points on Porter. Is he going to be fast enough, or is he going to be overwhelmed? I think that's a good matchup, but is it a better matchup than a Khan Crawford? And is Khan Crawford better than Garcia Spence? I'm going to say number 3 is Spence and Garcia. You know, that 2 division could only be overlooked for so long. Spence Garcia, great boxer, 2 division droppage. It might be better than Lopez, Thurman, Broner, Pacquiao. You know, when you say it like that, I don't know, man. Ugas and Porter, I like that matchup. And Khan Crawford, I think this is a very good fight. Now, of course, it definitely needs to have a Khan whose head is all the way in the game. But that's a damn good matchup. You know, we all fucking crack jokes on Khan because it's so damn easy. But 147, has he really been dominated? Oh, Chris Algieri rocked him. Oh shit, it's boxing, baby. You know, people say, "Oh, Thurman got hurt by the body shot. She didn't go down." Oh shit, I got hit with a punch that hurt. Oh shit, I fight for a living and I got hit with a punch that hurts. Can you imagine that? How the fuck did that happen? Shit, I got hit with a punch that hurt and I fight for a living. Damn, something must be wrong with me. You know, it's weird. It's weird. You know, Khan got a chin. His legs get fucked up and he goes down. Getting hurt to the body and you fight for a living. What the fuck? What the fuck? So, like I said, no one, well, Danny dropped him and beat him up bad at 140. Maidana got him at 140, but he won. Maidana shows some. You got to throw it, Khan. It's obvious, no matter what weight you're at. The dude can box. Can Crawford have faster hands to him? Will he be able to time him? Like I said, can Khan? Do you even think Khan right now is like I said? If his head's in the game, can he outbox Terrence Crawford? You know, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, for the way they fight, they get hit. You know, so Garcia is going to be able to hit Spence. Khan is going to be able to hit Terrence Crawford now. But what we have seen is if they want to not get hit, we've seen Terrence Crawford definitely use the ring in a more agile way, in an offense to defense to defense to offense. Crawford post style, Spence to really nobody. You know, the most movement we saw Spence was in Kell Brook, and that was kind of like backpedaling from like trying to just get some pressure, turning here and there. We haven't really seen Spence do any movement going backwards for defense, not like to avoid punches. And what little bit of craftiness of any type of footwork was when he felt really confident against Lamont Peterson. So Spence is a little stiff, a little. He's a he depends on that pressure and you wearing down. What if Mikey Garcia is a little fast and Spence can't catch him? What if, yes, he lands a good couple shots here and there, some devastating body shots. What if he can't catch Mikey Garcia? Like we said it. Mikey Garcia is a hellified boxer, good movement, good timing. He will be able to hit Errol Spence. Now, is Errol Spence just gonna walk through whatever gets hit with and throws with him? He might he might do that. He might do that. He's doing it against Algeria right now. I'm just watching. Oh shit! There's that knockout. He was kind of walking through Algeria shit towards the end of that fight. Will he be like around 3 and 4? Like, what? I felt what Mikey's best shit is. He's popping in and out. He's trying to pop shot me. He's trying to fire 2 combos up high, then go down to the body on the 3rd and 4th and skate. Will he just like, hey, you know what? On the 3rd one, bow, and just start throwing with Mikey? Because it'll be interesting because Mikey is too intelligent of a fighter, in my opinion, to know he can't stand in front of Errol Spence no longer than like a three punch combination. That's gonna be pretty impressive if Mikey could stand in front of Errol Spence and let off a 3 punch combination. I'm thinking it's gonna be like one and twos and skating, grabbing. If he could hold Spence, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, it's gonna be 1 and 2 skating. I think it's gonna be a lot of movement for Mikey. I think that's what all this snack shit is going for. He's going for strength to hold and to move. And whatever power it brings him, it'd be better for him. But his natural boxing technique and all his foot stuff is going to give him a power on his punch. I think this snack training is for his conditioning, moving and holding. Errol Spence, like I said, he's gonna do like kind of like how he fought Broner, but with a lot more movement, constantly resetting Errol Spence, not trying to be there for that left hook to the body or to the head. He's just gonna, force Errol Spence to be a very hard jabber, move towards his right hand. So I think Mikey's gonna be moving a lot to his left and make Spence either cut the ring off or just beat you with the right hook and the right jab. He's not too effective as he is with that punches as he is with his left body shots. Ugas, Porter, Khan. I'm going number 2, Khan and Terrence. Like I said, to me, the number 1 welterweight fight I'm looking forward to in the month is March 9th. And out of the first quarter of the year, I think Sean Porter and Eudenis Ugas is going to be the fight. I think that's going to be the fight that really sets the tone for the welterweights, especially like I said, if Ugas wins that matchup, it's gonna put a flip in the welterweight division. And the way 2018 was riding and finished off, people were winning. Judges' scorecards were, boxing was being scored towards the end. People were saying robbery. People were getting draws. Matches were ended in draws. Some scorecards, and people were saying, "Oh, that was a robbery. It was robbery." The aggressor was losing fights, and the boxer was being awarded points. Can that same type of fight happen with Ugas and Porter? Porter's going to look like he's doing all this stuff, being aggressive. You're like, oh, he was being aggressive, but it's going to be non-effective aggressive. Ugas going to be sitting there picking him off in an ugly fight. Can Ugas do that? Can that 2018 flow right into 2019 with boxing being awarded the points, the body shots, and the pickpocketing? What if Ugas beats Porter? Wow. And then and just hey, if Khan beats Terrence, do we dare say Lopez beats Thurman? Do we dare say that? I think that one we were pretty much is a safe bet. I think we're willing to say that is probably these. Here's another comment for you guys to leave right here on the RRT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A. Out of the 4 championships, who is defended? Who is the least threatened to keep their belt? So is it 100% Thurman got his belt? The Spence over Garcia is 100%. Porter over Udenis Ugas is 100%. You know, how do you say it? Number 1, Thurman, he's safe. Number 2, the 4 is going to lose their belt. Number 1 is going to keep their belt. You guys can put that down in the comment section. Now, we talked about the champions. We talked about Omar Figueroa Molina. Jamal James, he needs to show himself. Pacquiao Broner. Lipinets and Peterson. This is a strange fight, folks. Do we dare say gatekeeper? Do we dare say co-main event opponent? Is that what they're fighting for? A last minute replacement, a co-main event opponent, a showcase opponent? Lipinets and Peterson. Where does the winner go? Lipinets. Maybe the winner. Maybe that's who Jamal James will fight his next fight. The winner of that needs to beat a nice high ranked person, and Jamal James is high in the WBA. And you know what's funny? I just now a sidetrack. I was looking when I said WBA. Fabian Maidana, he fights soon, and he was ranked 147. He's fighting at 140, I think, this weekend. And last year, if you've been watching the show, I thought Fabian Maidana was gonna be Keith Thurman's comeback fight, but that's when Thurman got his second injury. Because they were looking up his welterweight. There's a good ranking. I'm okay. He's gonna come back and fight that guy. It's a good ranking. Thurman gets his second injury. Fabian still fights. Fabian's now fighting again, and Thurman's fighting. It's just, like I said, this is just a fallout, a word out, weird timing in Mr.A.'s thoughts, random Mr.A.'s thoughts here. Wouldn't it be weird that for a while now they've been trying to set Keith Thurman's comeback year, some softball touches, get him ready, some ranked fighters. That's what he was saying. He said, it's going to be an easy year for him, just come back, tune up a year. If he's still on path to fight Fabian Maidana, because they're always on the same timeline. Keith Thurman and Fabian, for the last 2 years, they're fighting either same week or a week apart. We're shit, I guess, watching too much boxing and you putting it together, making it together. Making it fit. But Lamont Peterson, Sergey Lipinets, hit that thumbs up for that Mr.A.'s thoughts. Hit it up. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. This is the RRT Boxing Show, Season 3, Episode 3, Welterweight Talks. Lamont Peterson, Sergey Lipinets. What does Peterson have left? Sergey Lipinets, I think, still has something left, but I don't think he has any. I don't think he's on a case of losing anything. Lipinets, actually, I think he has more left than Peterson. Peterson I think, is a good 7-round fighter. I think that's what he has to offer you. A really 7 hard rounds. I think he just puts too much in. I think he's been in some wars. It's just miles on his body. You know, he looks in phenomenal shape, but I just don't know if it's still boxing shape. Cardio wise and all that good stuff, it looks good. Barry Hunter is on that verge of to protecting him. Definitely don't want to see him take any more pain. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Peterson could just pull something out of the hat and fucking beat the shit out of Lipinets. He's definitely has the skills to just fucking dog him. Peterson can be a dog. You know, I say he has good 7 rounds. Shit, he'd be a dog for 4 and just beat the shit out of you. So that's possible. Oh, I would definitely like to see a flashback of Peterson just start dogging Lipinets. That'd be very interesting because Lipinets, I think, is a pretty talented boxer. He's pretty crafty. I don't think Mikey Garcia got enough credit for beating Lipinets. I really don't. Mikey Garcia beat him pretty good. I think that's going to be, for what it's worth, I really don't know. But that is definitely, like, if I was fighting, if I was watching this card live, you know, I probably want a nice, fresh, new popcorn for this fight. I think that's a very interesting fight, you know. I'm like, you know what? Let I'm gonna fucking actually check this fight out. I'm gonna give me a new hot dog and a fucking brand new thing of popcorn and fucking watch this fight, you know. Now, before we close the show out, we talked all the welterweights. January 18th, Algeri Gonzalez. 19th, Pacquiao Broner. 26th, the champion WBA Thurman coming back against Lopez. That's January. February, you got Omar Figueroa, John Molina. 23rd, Jamal James, WBA number 3 versus a TBA. So he needs to come out and prove himself. Then we move on to March. March 9th, the WBC champ, Porter versus Ugas, who I'm rating as the best welterweight fight in the first quarter of the year, on paper at least. The 16th, you got the IBF champ, Spence versus Garcia. The namesake is great, but you know, it's can't get past. You can't get hypnotized by the 2 division shit. You can't overlook it. You know, we saw what it looked like against Loma and Rigo. That size was real. You got the WBO champ, Terrence Crawford, fighting Khan. Penciled in, we just say it. Now, there is one fight we did not talk about, folks. And if you know your boxing, and then if you've been listening, and if you got that memory of an elephant, you remember from the very beginning, there's a fight we said April 20th that we did not discuss. Hit that thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. Hit that thumbs up if you knew the fight was Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados. Hit that thumbs up if you liked that fight. And hit that subscribe button if you have not yet, because you just like welterweight boxing talk. And you know, if you don't like welterweight boxing talk and you're still here, hit it because you like the RRT Boxing Show with your host, Mr.A. The Ready Talk Boxing Show. We talk those belts, we talk the rankings, champions, Mr. A's thoughts, breakdown and predictions, post-fight recaps, the boxing banner, the RRT Boxing Show, the Ready Talk Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr. A. And like I said, we got that one last fight to discuss. Danny Swift Garcia, WBC ranked number 1, taking on Adrian Granados. Adrian Granados said he wanted to go down to 140 where he naturally belongs, but he can't turn down the 147 because it's just ridiculous money fights. And again, he gets called in and he gets dragged out of it. It's like, hey, you want to fight Danny Garcia? At 140, ain't no one's fighting him right now. Everyone's in that tournament. Adrian Granados would have been an interesting character in that 140 tournament, don't you think? In the WBSS, Adrian Granados would have been interesting in that fucking tournament. But nope. He lost against Broner, questionable. I forgot what my scorecard was against Porter. I don't know if I had him winning by one or if I had him giving it up, but that was a good ass fight. He was tagging Porter. Who else did he go in there and he fought? It was good, but him and Danny Garcia, that is that has potential, folks. Even though it's only in the first quarter, it's in April. That has potential to be upset of the year. That has potential to be upset of the year, and it can easily happen. It could easily happen. Now, Danny Garcia can crack. Every opponent says it. Granados gets a hit a little too often, but he shows that he does have a chin. He's gonna have a hell of a reach on Garcia. He has his own little power. He has speed. He has feet. Garcia has been shown that he's good at tracking you down, but the best chance to beat him is with movement. What if Granados doesn't get coaxed into a fight, a trade out? What if he doesn't start talking shit and actually focus for like a good 10-9 rounds? 12 rounds. You hope, but Granados can win this with sticking and moving, and then would need to mid-range combinations because he has the hand speed. He has the combination hand speed over Garcia. Yes, Garcia has that timing. Garcia's gonna maybe have to do him like Khan, because Adrian Granados has the uh, agility and the attributes to fight the kind of fight that Khan was winning against Garcia. That's a dangerous fight. I want to see it. I really want to see that fight. It has and again, it's like a no purpose fight to it. It's almost like a like I said, the opening quarter of the welterweights. It's all four champions are fighting, 3 high ranked fights: Pacquiao, Broner, Jamal James, and then the number one Danny Garcia. High ranked fights, but Garcia's fighting Granados. Granados is good, but he's not even ranked. He's he's one of his 140s coming up again. You got Pacquiao, Broner. What exactly has Broner been doing? He had a tough draw with Vargas, and Vargas is a nice B minus tier fighter, just where he's at, maybe C plus, depending on how you rank your welterweights. Broner couldn't do it against Garcia. Errol Spence is fighting Garcia, who he already outweighs. He's bigger, he's stronger. Like, how is this? It's name packed, it's hot, it's heavy with names, star power. But are the matchups really that good? It's good, it's not good. Like I said, some of the matches I'm really, really intrigued by could be the shittiest ones for other persons. I like Ugas and Porter. I think that's the best championship match. But people might have Garcia, Spence, Khan, Terrence. I got Ugas number one, Khan number two, Garcia number three. Uh, and see, and it's a flip up between Lopez and Broner. See, I'm naming the opponents to make how I think the fights are. Ugas, Khan, Garcia, Broner, Lopez. Like I said, Broner against Manny Pacquiao. Lopez, that's just, I take whatever one you don't want. 4 and 5. Who is the fight? Like I said, I think Ugas is a go, but Granados and Garcia. Lipinets and Peterson. How is this card? How do you rank this card? I say this card, but it's the first quarter. How do you rank the first quarter of the welterweights? A, B, C, D, F. And again, I do a quick little rundown before we go out. January 18th, Chris Algieri, Daniel Gonzalez. 19th, Manny Pacquiao, Broner for the regular WBA. 26th, WBA champ Keith Thurman returned bout against number 7, Lopez. Remember the rankings. Like, you got to rate all this stuff. February 16th, Omar Figueroa, John Molina Jr. February 23rd, WBA number 3, WBC ranked number 11, Jamal James, opponent to be announced. March 9th, WBC champ Sean Porter taking on number 6, your Dennis Ugas. March 16th, IBF champ Errol Spence taking on 135-pounder, the WBC champ Mikey Garcia. March 24th, Lamont Peterson taking on Sergey Lipinets. And April 20th, WBO champion Terrence Crawford taking on Amir Khan, ranked number 3 by the WBO. And WBC number 1, Danny Garcia taking on Adrian Granados. My top 3 fights. I want to see Ugas Porter. I want to see Khan Crawford. And I want to see Lopez Thurman. In my honorable mention, I want to see Granados and Garcia. Thank you. I'm your host, Mr.A, and this is your show, the Ready Talk Boxing Show. Hit the thumbs up on the replay, on the watch back. RRT Boxing Show at RRTB Show. At RRTB Show. Thank you, and please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. See you in the next one.